There are some places in this world that you can visit that will completely change your perspective by just the sheer size of them. And Utah is one of them. With seemingly endless landscape views, thousands of miles of off-road trails, and some of the toughest terrain in the country, it's no wonder why they call it an adventurer's paradise. And it is sure living up to its name. This is fucking crazy. I'm Ryan, and this is Goin Rogue. And we're picking up right where we left off as we leave the most epic campsite that I've ever had and head back out into the desert of the San Rafael Swell. We were headed northwestish on Wild Horse Road. Weather was good, but it didn't take long until we started seeing the evidence of the rainstorm that came through the night before. And anybody with any desert experience would have probably taken that as a good clue to turn around and find another way, but I don't have any desert experience, so I just kept on going. Everything was going good. I was having a blast with how this trail weaved in and out of the desert. That wasn't until I came up over the hill and saw that we had to drive through the riverbed, and I knew we were in for a long day. But I already had a couple hours invested in this route, so it was a little too late to turn around, so I just kept on going, hoping that it would get better, even though we all know it never gets better. I popped out of the riverbed onto what I thought was some safer ground and drove alongside these big tall rock spines for a while. The whole area just looked like Mars. It was pretty cool, so I just sat back and enjoyed the views for a while until I realized that I was sinking into the dirt. This dirt was really weird. It had like a hard crust to it, but then it was like squishy foam underneath, and I was sinking down a couple inches to it, so I had to hammer down and get to somewhere safe where I could get some air out of the tires. We'll be up Shit's Creek. Hopefully we got some hard soil right here. It's be a bad place to get stuck. Hilltops right here. Oh boy. It actually feels better. The tires felt better, but going back downhill did not, because I had a sneaky suspicion of where it was taking me, and what do you know, I was right back into the wash, where I continued to fight this road for the next few hours. I had to basically walk ahead of the truck most of the time because the hard spots looked soft and the soft spots were hard, and it was just really deceiving, and you had to be really careful out here because I hadn't seen anybody in a long time. There were no more tire tracks. There was nothing to winch to, and I mean, I had no service, so I just had to be super careful and make sure that I got through this thing. Whoa. Yep. How'd I know? How did I know? And that looks really bad, actually. And just like I had thought, the main boss was waiting for me at the end of the trail. It's really hard to see from this angle, but the rain and runoff had undercut the road severely on that right side to where it was just crumbling in. And I was worried that my front passenger tire would cave it in, leaving my rear end to just fall into a hole and make me flop on my lid or get stuck. So my plan was to just try to drive through it with some momentum, and hopefully it would carry me through. We did it! Oh, thank God. Thank God we did it. Well, we took that Wild Horse Road, and there should have been a sign saying it was closed because that whole thing was washed out. You had to drive down this ravine, and I'll just say that Utah clay, mud, whatever you want to call it, is very deceiving because there was a few spots that looked completely fine and they were like quicksand. But we're through that, and we're headed over into a Cathedral Valley right now. So when we see something cool, I will get back with ya. Well, I was glad that was over and that we were back to some friendlier roads. But I had worked up quite the appetite, so we pulled over and made some lunch and stretched our legs for a minute before we took back off across the desert. We are right on the outskirts of the lower Last Chance Wilderness right now, in I believe Goblin Valley. But I gotta say, the color of the rock around here is pretty cool. It's like this green with red spots on it. It's pretty neat looking, and I guess that's why they call it Goblin Valley. I want to say because it kind of resembles goblins, I guess. I guess if goblins were going to live somewhere, they would probably live around here, I guess. I don't know. That's what they say. Someone said. My only concern right now is I got a little bit more than a half tank of gas. I got 5 gallons in the can. But, that makes me concerned. Boy, I gotta go check that out. I don't know. I need a stick. Whoa. Oh, that shit's like... Why don't we get our handy dandy light pole / extendo stick? Because this is... We are a long way from help if we need help. So, better safe than sorry. My boot's not waterproof, I just found out. This is deep. Sounds pretty hard. I'll tell you what, this Utah clay, I've heard other people say too, is it's just deceiving. And once you're in it, you're in it. There's no backing out. You're locked in. So I think we're safe. And hit with just a little bit of momentum. Well, we made it through. It wasn't that bad. It was at least like a gravelly bottom. So we're gonna continue on. Pretty sure me and Yami just found a camp. It's pretty nice. It's kind of tucked in between some rocks, so I'll be sheltered from the wind tonight, because last night was pretty annoying trying to cook with a 15-mile-an-hour wind. But we saw this little wash, or I guess what could have been a trail that's washed out, if it's anything like when we went down earlier. So before we took the truck down it, I said, let's walk down it and scope it out and see what we got. All right, YouTube, it is, I believe it's Saturday morning. I don't even know anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's the weekend. So anyways, we got this little spot kind of, tucked in between some rocks last night, and look, overlooking this, or the cliff overlooking our campsite, which is pretty. It's a good thing because it was pretty windy last night, but now the wind's actually picking up even more, and it doesn't even matter that I'm kind of tucked behind all these obstacles here. But anyways, we're gonna head out. We're somewhere in the San Rafael swell. I got one more spot I want to check out here, and then we gotta head for civilization because I'm running low on some supplies. I need some ice, I need some more monsters and some coffee, and I got a little more than a half a tank of gas, and it took that to get here. So I do have a spare 5-gallon tank, but it might be tight, so we'll find out. All right.
we just left camp a few minutes ago. We're headed off on this little side trail. There's an overlook, I believe, that I found, and I want to check out before we head back into civilization. It's only a few miles long. I don't know, I think I'm okay with gas, but like I said, I guess we'll find out. I got 5 gallons, and that should get me, I think I'll be alright with that. So I guess we'll find out. If you see me waiting for a tow truck, you'll know why. But I'll give you a look as soon as we get there. We just got out to this lookout up here. Check out this. Pretty wild. This land. There's a huge cliff right
With all the wind, we didn't hang out at that lookout very long before we hopped back in the truck and took back off so we could finally make it over to Cathedral Valley and check out some of these iconic landmarks, which were really cool, to be honest. It's pretty crazy how tall these cliffs are, and it's pretty obvious why it's called Cathedral Valley, because it almost looks like you would be driving through the halls of Notre Dame or something like that. But there's not a whole lot to see, so I just stopped to take a picture real quick and then continued on. We had to travel up over this next little batch of mountains through Capitol Reef National Park, and for whatever reason, we can't film through there anymore, so I didn't. But as soon as I could turn the camera back on, I did, which left us on this pretty sweet-ass road that felt like I was on a MXGP track. But by that time, my gas was starting to get a lot lower than I had wanted, so I was in a mad dash to hit the highway and get back to civilization. So I was just trying to maintain a good clip and keep some momentum and just keep the truck rolling all the way out to the main road. No. Did we miss a turn? After what had seemed like an endless drive through the desert, we were almost to the main road as I rounded the corner around some bushes when I saw this not so welcoming sight. The river had swelled up, and apparently that storm that had came through was giving me way more problems than I ever could imagine, and I was getting a free lesson on what not to do in the desert.
Oh no. This is fucking crazy.
I was almost out of gas, so turning around wasn't an option. And I was out of anything that I wanted to eat, so I didn't want to stay another night in the desert. So I went for it.
Oh no. This is shitty. Oh, fucking thank God. I thought we were stuck in there. That was sketchy.
Well, I was glad that was over, but honestly, looking back, it was pretty stupid to just go for that without at least walking it or pulling out some winch line and getting that ready to get into action right away. But anyways, we were through it, and I was relieved to be feeling home free at this point. We were only like a mile from the road. So we had just enough time to get back into town, get what I needed, and then get back out into the bushes and find somewhere to camp, which ended up being just a couple hundred yards off the highway, not far from town. I just nestled us behind some rocks and set up camp real quick because we were losing daylight fast, so I had to just make do with what I could find.
Well, we just woke up. It's Sunday morning.
I think it's pretty early, actually. It's like 9, maybe 10 on the road.
We're gonna go stop by Cainville. There's a spot there that I've been wanting to get a picture at for a long time, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's a swing arm city. Oh, I almost fell in a hole. It's fucking nuts, dude. Did it. Probably recognize this feature if you've ever seen it's been in a lot of truck commercials or moto videos. Look at this place. This is Swing Arm City. Barry's about to have a little fun. Well, we're gonna do the famous feature at Swing Arm City. You only live once. I'm only gonna be here. It's gonna be a long time before I'm back. So here we fucking go, man. We're sending it.
I had been watching people hit that feature for years. Ever since I was a kid, I've been watching trucks go flying up it or dirt bikes. And I got to say, was pretty cool to be able to take my own truck and send it up there. And maybe at 200 and some odd thousand mile truck wasn't the best candidate to do it, but hey, I was there and that's just what I had. So, but I had a blast, but it was time for some real reprovisioning. This little town that was local didn't really have much for food. So we got back on the highway and headed back for Moab. All right, YouTube, it is Monday and we are headed out on Schaefer Trail. This should be a good time. I've always wanted to see this trail. I know it's not really tough. I'm saving Hell's Revenge for the end of the trip in case we do break something. Oh, here we go. Following an old game trail, John Sog Schaefer constructed a cattle trail around 1917. And for years, the Schaefer brothers wintered their cattle in the Schaefer Basin and trailed them up to the mesa top for summer. It was in the early 1950s uranium exploration started in this area of the country, and uranium miners began to look for ways to get their ore out of what is now the White Rim area. Then they decided that the Schaefer Trail was the most feasible route. The Schaefer Trail Road project was born and started in August 1952. The old cattle trail was turned into a truck route and completed around October 1952. And then ore from the White Rim area was then trucked up to the Schaefer Road and out toward Moab through the Dubinsky Well Road. I gotta say, I think Schaefer Trail is probably one of the most stunning areas that I've ever been through. It kind of feels like you're in like the land of the gods, because the cliff walls are just so tall and the area itself is huge. The colors of the rocks, I mean, it's just a beautiful area all around, and I would highly recommend it to anybody that's in the area. It ended up we couldn't even finish the whole trail. Right before the switchbacks, the Schaefer Trail enters into Arches National Park, and they are not dog friendly whatsoever. There was a sign specifically saying that no dogs were allowed, not even in your vehicle. So we had to turn around, which wasn't that big of a deal. We'd been going hard for the last few days and needed a chance to just rest up and mess around at camp and get ourselves rested and ready for the big day that we had ahead of us tomorrow. All right, guys, it's Tuesday morning. Got the truck warming up. We're about to head out. Took another lazy morning. Been going hard at it, so anyways, I want something a little tougher for today. I really want to do Hell's Revenge, but I've heard a couple clicks and pops out of my four-wheel drive. I don't know, it's only happened I think right when I've engaged it, so maybe it just wasn't fully engaged and it's the sound of it actually sliding into place or fully engaging or something, I'm hoping. But we're gonna go to Fins and Things first, do a little four-wheel drive test, and then we'll go from there, and maybe we will do Hell's Revenge. I sure would like to. It's a goal of mine for this truck. But looks like a sunny day. I do see some rain clouds in the distance, but I think they're gonna blow around us. So other than that, it's like 50 degrees. It's pretty nice. So when I get to the trail, I'll get back with you. Okay, we're in like the parking lot thing for Fins and Things, or down the street from it at least. But I can see part of Hell's Revenge. And I'll tell you right now, it's starting to get a little intimidating. I've never done anything like this, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying more about it than I should be. The truck's been pretty capable itself, I must say. Been wanting to do something a little tougher, so I guess this is it. Figure I'm not coming back here for a while, so, and there's an O'Reilly down the street, so it should be okay. Worst case, we pull our front axle out and put it in the bed and drive it home. No front diff. It's an option. A little bit of rain clouds I don't like either. Don't want it to rain while out there and make anything harder and have more wheel slip or anything like that. So, but we are about to see right now. It's getting exciting. I was having a blast out here and had a smile from ear to ear since I was wanting to come out here to Moab and run these trails since I was a little kid. So finally getting to be out here was just an amazing feeling. Although everything was a lot bigger than it looks in video, I must say. Not that it was too hard, but the truck size was definitely added a degree of difficulty, and the worst part I would say was the turning radius was severely handicapped in 4 low. Other than that, we were doing just fine, so we just kept on going. Down there for a minute. I think we're on the home stretch, I believe. I don't know though. See right through here, you just want to keep your tires on the high points if you can. And I know it's counterintuitive, but that's what you do. And trust me, it works. You can go through some pretty rough shit. And something that you shouldn't be able to if you just know how to drive it. Not that I know how to drive, but I've got a little bit of experience doing this shit. And that's what you do. Is this the end? This is the end. And there's the police waiting for us. Well, we did fins and things. I'm pretty happy with Barry. Okay, today it is Wednesday. I think we're gonna start heading home tomorrow morning. But I wanted to make one quick run out to this other trail I've heard of. After the festivities yesterday on fins and things, figured old Barry probably really doesn't belong there quite yet. I mean, yeah, he could do it, but I really need a 1-ton rear axle. Some of those climbs with this big a tire and as much weight as I have in this thing, I really was wincing at the climbs. That was my biggest fear. And I don't know, something doesn't sound quite right in the front differential either, which, you know, no big deal, but I don't want to overdo it and snap something here. If something's worn out, which I think there's a bearing on the
outside stub shaft, I guess is the best way I can describe it. I think there's there's a bearing right behind the seal, and I think it's going because I hear something clicking and popping when I turn a lot or put a lot of strain on it. CVs are brand new; those shouldn't be a problem. But anyways, we're heading out to here once today, but then I realized I really didn't have enough gas to do the whole thing, so we turned around, went back to the highway, got some gas, and now we're here. And it happened to be a pretty cool trail. It was cooler than I thought it was going to be. So when we get a little closer, I will let you know. Just got to the beginning. This one's like a shelf road. Pretty cool. Look at this cliff edge right here. Pretty wild driving underneath these rocks and everything. Here we go. We're down here at the bottom of, well, I'm not going to say now, but I don't want the spot getting blown up. But we found a good spot, let's put it that way. And instead of driving all the way back up to go to one of, I don't know where better really, why not stay here? Because look at these canyons behind me. Or these walls, cliffs, whatever you want to call them. 360 degrees. And the Green River's like just right over there, within walking distance. So I think we're gonna call this home for tonight. Well, that is it for the Utah trip. It's Thursday morning. Got everything packed up, about to head out. Got to change the oil, but then we're gonna head home. It's been awesome. Been a memorable 14 days living out of the truck. Everything worked pretty good in the truck. Nothing broke. Something not too happy in the front differential, but I think it'll be make it home. Worst case, I can take the front axle out and just drive home with that in the bed. Get a new one when I get home. But guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Other than that though, everything went great. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Utah. If you, thanks for watching.